Okay, let me do what I hope is a brief video about Chapter 12. Chapter 12 is all about conflict. So we're looking at what is conflict, what are people's various conflict styles, how conflict shows up in relationships, and then how to manage conflict. I think it's very interesting that maybe as recently as 10 years ago, they didn't call it conflict management, they called it conflict resolution. And because I think this is important to think about, what we now realize is most, many, if not most, conflicts aren't resolved because the underlying conflict is still there, but they can be managed. So before you get into the meat of this chapter, I want to go over how Wilmot and Hocker define conflict, because I think a lot of times people think of conflict as a huge argument with screaming and yelling and stomping feet and slamming doors. But okay, so conflict is an expressed struggle between at least two interdependent parties who perceive incompatible goals, scarce resources, and interference from the other party in achieving their goals. So when you read the first part of the chapter, it goes into each of these components, and just make sure that you really understand what these components are. And then when you look at what is available for this week, you see a lot of things. I mean, most of them are, it's set up the way it's always set up, but this is something that is new. I don't know that's links for the lecture, but I want you to do the assessment, preferably before you listen to the second part. Well, if you listen to the lectures, but definitely you need to do this before class. If you don't do it before class, it's just what we're going to do isn't going to work. And I need the results of this assessment for the in the in the thing in the survey. Okay, so there are 15 questions that you're answering from, one is always and 5 is rarely. And then you're going to figure out how to score it, and you're going to come up with one of 5 animals as being your lowest score is your dominant style, and your backup style is your second lowest score. And so we need, what do we have here? And then this is very similar to what the textbook talks about. It defines each of the different conflict styles that people have. While you are doing the assessment, if sometimes people find it hard to think about conflict in general. So if you're finding a hard time thinking about how you handle conflict in general, then what I would suggest is think about a specific person with whom you feel you have frequent conflicts. Okay, there's more information about the different conflict styles. There's a lot of supplemental material, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 articles, and 2, what are these called? Videos. I'm still really tired. The discussion is about your conflict style. And I really need you to let me know what your dominant conflict style is, because this is when you do the survey, because this is going to help me make the groups for this week. All right. And then you don't have to worry about this. I'll put it in. There's the quiz as always. Even though the rough draft is not due, well, actually it is due on the 24th, but you're going to tell me if you need more time. And I also put the journal here for some reason. Do you see? Okay, it's not due until December 8th. And let me remind you that if you have not yet used your missed assignment green card, this might be a good time to use it. Okay. So that is it for how this chapter is set up. If you have any questions, definitely put questions in the survey, or send me an email, or send me a message in Blackboard. Okay, look forward to seeing you guys all on